Few people know, but the Santa Claus we know today is much more than a friendly old man who gives out gifts. In fact, his true story is rooted in centuries of traditions, legends, and acts of compassion that have transcended generations. And here's a surprising truth. Before becoming the Christmas icon, Santa Claus was a real man on a mission that changed many lives. Get ready, because in today's video, we'll dive into the fascinating origins of Santa Claus, explore his historical connections, and uncover how he became the symbol that unites millions of people around the world. Are you ready to discover the story of his origins? Saint Nicholas, the inspiration behind the figure of Santa Claus, lived in a way that still echoes in the hearts of millions. His story is living proof that generosity and faith can leave eternal marks. Imagine a time when helping those in need was a risky, almost clandestine mission. It was precisely in such a scenario that Saint Nicholas shined. He used his wealth to bring comfort to those who had nothing, like a true friend of humanity. Isn't it curious to think how this spirit of kindness remains so alive even today? What makes this story so special is the simplicity of Nicholas's gestures. He didn't seek attention. On the contrary, he often acted anonymously. Like that time when, to save 3 sisters from poverty, he left gold coins by their windows during the night. It's as if he were saying to each of us, you too can be a Santa Claus, even if just in your neighborhood. Generosity doesn't require wealth, only a willing heart. Have you thought about offering a sincere smile or helping someone in need? Small acts can be as powerful as great gestures. The true story of Santa Claus isn't just about gifts but about creating hope in difficult times. In moments when faith was tested, Nicholas remained steadfast, spreading a message of light. He invites us to reflect on the impact we can have around us, even with actions that, in our eyes, may seem small. Whether it's sharing a kind word, offering a helping hand, or simply being there for someone. Saint Nicholas was not just a man of faith. He was also known for his integrity and wisdom in managing the wealth he possessed. He was the kind of person who saw his prosperity as an opportunity to bless other lives, not as something to flaunt. Born into a wealthy family, he decided that his fortune should be a tool for transformation. And this is where the true essence of Santa Claus comes in, a man who used what he had to make a difference. Imagine the impact we could make by dedicating part of what we have to those who truly need it. The virtues of Saint Nicholas went far beyond financial generosity. He was a living example of humility and compassion. While many used their wealth to distance themselves from others, Nicholas did exactly the opposite. He went to the simplest places, learned people's stories, and found ways to help them. Have you ever thought about how, even without great resources, we can draw inspiration from this? From offering time, attention, or even sharing something that seems small, we can create a huge impact. After all, the true story of Santa Claus teaches us that the value of a gift lies in the intention, not the price. The story of Nicholas shows how virtues and wealth can go hand in hand when guided by a greater purpose. He was known as a just man, always concerned about the well-being of others. This concern was reflected in every act of charity he performed. Not everything was easy in the life of Saint Nicholas. Although he is remembered for his generosity, his journey was marked by trials that tested his faith intensely. During a period of religious persecution, Nicholas was forced to hide his beliefs and often risked his life to continue helping those in need. It's remarkable how, even in the face of so much adversity, he never backed down. This is the true story of Santa Claus. Someone who stood firm even when everything seemed to be against him. These challenges not only shape the character of Saint Nicholas but also serve as an inspiration for us. How many times do we let the difficulties of daily life pull us away from our values or from what truly matters? Nicholas teaches us that it is precisely in these moments that we should hold on to what we believe in. A practical example would be to reflect on how you deal with obstacles. Do you see them as insurmountable barriers or as opportunities to grow? Thinking about this can completely change your perspective. Despite everything, Nicholas turned every trial into strength to continue his mission. He knew that faith is like an anchor in the storms of life. The story of Santa Claus challenges us to do the same, to never give up, even when the path seems difficult. After all, hardships are just chapters of a larger narrative. But what is truly impressive is how, even in the midst of tribulations, he found ways to keep spreading kindness and leaving an eternal legacy. His resilience became a beacon of hope for others, showing that there is always light to be found in acts of kindness. The acts of compassion by Saint Nicholas became the heart of the true story of Santa Claus. He was more than a generous man. He was a visionary who believed in transformation through love for others. Among the most famous stories is that of three sisters who faced the possibility of being sold into slavery. Nicholas, moved by their situation, threw bags of gold coins through their windows at night, enabling them to have a dowry to marry. Isn't it amazing to think that, even centuries later, this essence of giving without expecting anything in return still inspires Christmas traditions? Every gesture of Nicholas carried a powerful intention: to transform lives and spread hope. He didn't need recognition. He acted in silence, driven by compassion. Today, this idea resonates in simple practices, like giving to those with less or offering time to listen to someone in need. Have you ever imagined how small gestures in your daily life could profoundly impact someone else's life? Perhaps a donation, an encouraging note, or even a sincere hug. Nicholas reminds us that the true magic lies in the act of giving, not in the size of the gift. His enduring legacy was more than material gifts. It was a lesson on how kindness can transcend generations and cultures. The story of Santa Claus, rooted in Saint Nicholas, is a universal symbol of compassion, a reminder that even the smallest acts can create waves of impact. And to think it all started with someone who simply chose to make a difference in his community. But how did this historical figure transform into an icon filled with legends and mysteries? Over the centuries, the story of Saint Nicholas merged with cultural traditions and legends. In Europe, he was incorporated into Christmas celebrations, gaining folkloric characteristics. In the United States, however, he was shaped into the Santa Claus we know today, thanks to writers and illustrators like Clement Clarke Moore and Thomas Nast. This transformation, from saint to legend, is fascinating. Elements like the chimney, the sleigh, and the reindeer came from cultural adaptations, but the spirit of generosity remained. Did you know that the idea of stockings hung by the fireplace came from the coins left by Nicholas? These mysteries show us how traditions grow and transform without losing their essence. And the magic of Santa Claus lies in how he connects generations and cultures through a universal message. Santa Claus transcends borders because he is much more than a symbol of Christmas. He is an emblem of hope and unity. The traditions surrounding him, like the exchange of gifts and the stories shared, create unforgettable memories. And you? What family traditions make Christmas more special for you? More than a magical figure, Santa Claus reminds us that traditions have the power to create connections. No matter how challenging the year has been, he brings with him the promise of a new beginning. Now that you know the true story of Santa Claus, it's clear that Christmas is much more than parties or presents. It's about unity, generosity, and creating memories that will last forever. And with our ebook, you'll have everything you need to plan a perfect Christmas, from practical ideas to inspiration for making every detail special. Check the link in the comments and get your ebook right now. Don't miss this chance to create an unforgettable Christmas for you and your family. And, of course, subscribe to the channel to keep receiving amazing content like this. Let's spread the true magic of Christmas together.